Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome you all in PIST Virtual Learning System session 2020. I hope you are enjoying your virtual learning classes at PIST. Alhamdulillah. This lecture is for first year. This is your computer science class, and I'm Mrs. Afshin is here. And students, we are second week of virtual learning system, and this is our fifth video lecture, and we are on chapter number 1. Today we will discuss computer hardware, input devices, keyboard, pointing devices, mouse, trackball, joystick, touch screen, light pen, touchpad, microphone, and digital camera. Computer hardware. Computer hardware refers to the physical elements of computer system. This is also sometimes called the machinery or the equipment of the computer. Computer hardware is what you can physically touch and see, all tangible parts of your computer system. So as we discussed in our previous lectures, that computer hardware basically is all physical part of your computer system, and we can classify our computer system in 5 main categories of computer hardware. Those are input hardware, output hardware, processing hardware, storage hardware, and communication hardware. So you can see here we have a computer system, and computer system can be classified in monitor, speaker, keyboard, mouse, hard disk, sound card. All these are computer hardware which we can touch and move easily. Means that these are the tangible parts of your computer system which you can touch and move easily. So our computer system basically consists of hardware and software. The physical components of computer that we can touch and feel are called computer hardware. Computer hardware consists of input and output devices, and sometimes we can call it IO devices. So IO devices means that input and output devices. So we can touch these devices. We have storage devices, we have central processing unit. This is a processing device, and we have many other hardware which are connected in our computer system, and we can touch and move easily. So dear students, now I'm going to talk about the input devices. So before we will start the input devices, what is input? Anything given to the computer is known as input, such as data or instruction. When we enter any type of data and instruction into the computer, that is called input for the computer. So we have two types of input: direct input and indirect input. And we can enter our input with the help of input devices. So input devices are those devices from which we can input data and instructions into the computers. A number of input devices have been developed. Input devices that enable the user to enter data as instruction into the computer for processing are called input devices. It is used to supply data or information to a computer. The most widely used input devices of the computer system: keyboard and mouse. Other examples are scanner, touchpad, light pen, tablet, digital camera, and joystick. So when we talk about the input devices, so basically input devices are used to communicate with the computer. So with the help of those input devices, we can communicate, we can send our data and instruction to the computer system. So it is a way of communication, a medium of communication between the user and the computer. If the user want to communicate and enter its instruction into the computer, so with the help of input devices, they can communicate. They consist of devices that accept data and convert into the machine readable form. These devices are often referred to the peripheral devices. Peripheral devices means that all those devices which we can attach and remove from our computer are called peripheral devices. So we have all IO devices, and all IO devices are called peripheral devices. So most commonly used input devices are keyboard and mouse. Keyboard and mouse are the most commonly used input devices. With the help of keyboard and mouse, we can enter our data and instruction. So keyboard basically is used to enter your text and symbols and instructions. Basically, it is a text data entry device. With the help of this, you can enter your text, characters, symbols like this. And mouse is a pointing device and most commonly used device. With the help of a mouse, you can point, you can select, and you can use your pointer on the screen. You can highlight your instruction and you can enter your data and instruction with the help of this pointing device. So mostly used input devices are keyboard and mouse. Other input devices, we have scanner, light pen, joystick, touchpad, touchscreen, and tablet, smartphone. All these are other input devices where we have touchscreen in the smartphone and tablet. Touchpad we can use in the laptop. Scanners are used to scan the documents. Joystick is used to play the games. Light pen is used to draw your highlight something and you can draw on the tablets. Now let's start with the most important input device, that is keyboard. So basically keyboard was the first input device to be used with computers and it is still the major and most widely used among all the input devices. It is the primary input device for entering text and numbers. It is an arrangement of keys on a board in an organized way. This is why it is called keyboard. A standard keyboard includes about 100 keys and each key sends a different signal to the CPU. Keyboard includes the following type of keys: alphabetic keys, numeric keys, function keys, cursor movement, arrow keys, modifier keys, scroll keys, punctuation mark keys, and other special purpose keys. So the keyboard is the primary input device for the input of data to computer. With the help of this input device, we can enter our text, we can enter our characters, we can enter our data and instruction into the computer easily. And this is the most commonly used input device which we have, and it is attached with all our devices, with our laptops, with our smartphones, with our tablet PC. So keyboard is compulsory and we must have keyboard attached with our devices. On the keyboard, we have different keys and these keys send the signals to the system unit for the execution. So the parts of the keyboard. The parts of the keyboard, basically your keyboard can classify in 4 main parts. Function keys. These are your function keys: F1, F2, F3, F4 till F12. All these are the function keys which are used to perform special function. Their function depends on the software being used in the computer. Like F1 is used to open the help, F4 is used to save your document. So here we have different function keys from F1 to F12. Then we have alphanumeric keypad, alphanumeric keys. Alphanumeric keys basically consist of your alphabets and numeric. Numeric means that we have numbers here, we have alphabets here. So combination of numbers and alphabets is called alphanumeric keys. So with the help of this part, you can type your data and your statements easily. And here we have some numbers also from 1 to 0, from 0 to 9, you can call it. So on this, we have some special symbol. With the help of shift key, you can use these symbols. So if you want to use the percentage sign, just hold the shift key. Shift keys and all these keys are special keys. These are the special keys which are used to perform some special function, like caps lock is used when you want to type in capital letter and uppercase, so you can turn on the caps lock. And shift, control and alt, all these are the combination keys. With the help of these combination, you can make different function, like control S is used to save your document, control O is used to open the document. So we have different combination keys. And here we have enter and backspace. So enter is used to give the line break. Backspace is used to remove the character. Here we have a space bar. Space bar is used to give the space between the characters. So when you will press the space bar once, so it will give one character space. So with the help of these special keys, and you can give special function and you can use those special functions. And if you want to use these symbols which are given on the numbers 1 2 3 4, so hold the shift key and press the number. If you want to use the dollar sign, just hold the shift key and press the 4. So you can use the dollar sign symbol. If you want to use the asterisk, so you can just hold the shift key and press the 8. If you want to use the @ sign, so just hold shift key and press the 2. So these are the alphanumeric keypad, which consist of numbers, some symbols, and alphabets. So here we have some system commands: print, scroll lock, pause, and break. So here we have home and keys, which are related to your system commands. Here we have a navigational keys. Navigational keys means that with the help of these keys, you can move your cursor up, down, left, and right. If you want to do the navigation without mouse, so with the help of this part, you can you can move your pointer up, down within a document. You can navigate your web page with the help of these navigation keys. And this is your small calculator and the numeric keypad. This is a numeric keypad. It just looks like a small calculator. Here we have numbers from 0 to 9, and here we have plus, minus, divide, multiply. All the symbols and mathematical functions are available here in this part, so you can use easily, and it is just like a small calculator. Now, how your keyboard work? So a key is pressed on the keyboard. Suppose you pressed any letter, any key from the keyboard, it passed to the keyboard controller. The keyboard controller sends the scan code for the key to the keyboard buffer. Then keyboard buffer, it passed to the keyboard buffer. The keyboard controller send an interrupt request to the system software. So when you will press your key from the keyboard, it will pass to the keyboard controller. Keyboard controller send it to the keyboard buffer, and then keyboard buffer pass to the controller, and controller send interrupt to the request to the system software. The system software means the operating system or a device driver which we have on our computer system. So basically it will pass to the system software. The system software respond to the interrupt by reading the scan code from the keyboard buffer. So always remember that whenever you will press any key from the keyboard, so it is converted into the code, scan code, ASCII code, then the binary code, and then pass to the execution. So the system software respond to the interrupt by reading the scan code from the keyboard buffer, and then pass to the system software, then scan code to the CPU for the execution. CPU means central processing unit, will execute your instruction, will execute your key function according to your requirement. The next is pointing devices. Pointing device, or sometimes called a pointing tool, is a hardware input device that allows the user to move the mouse cursor in a computer program or GUI operating system. GUI operating system means that graphical user interface. This is a GUI operating system where we have a proper desktop, we have icons, we have dialog boxes, and with the help of a pointer, we can select each thing easily. So you can just press the buttons, you can just select the icons with the help of your pointing device, and you can use your computer easily. Using a pointing device, you can point at or manipulate any object or text on the screen. For example, using a pointing device, you could point at and select an icon from a list of icons easily. So means that with the help of pointing device, so a pointer is attached with your pointing device, so you can move your pointer on the screen. You can select any object, like the object can be an icon, object can be a window. So you can double click on the icon, you can open the window, you can select anything, any text with the help of this pointing device. So basically, pointing devices are used to control the movement of the pointer. Pointer is also called the cursor. To select items on a screen or open computer programs or files. Commonly used pointing devices are mouse, trackball, pointing stick, touchpad, touchscreen, joystick, and pen. So with the help of these pointing devices, you can select your text, you can select your icons easily, you can navigate and you can communicate with your GUI operating system easily. So pointing devices are very helpful in GUI operating system, and we can communicate with the help of pointing devices on GUI operating system very easily. We can select and deselect the options, objects, and text. The most commonly used and most widely used pointing device is mouse. A mouse is an input device that functions by detecting two-dimensional motion relative to its supporting surface. Physically, a mouse consists of an object held under the user's hand with one or more buttons. It is a hand-operated electronic device that controls the coordinates of a cursor on the computer screen as the user moves it around on a surface. It can be used only in graphically user interface-based computer system. So when you are using a mouse, basically mouse is the most widely and important pointing device as we move the mouse over the surface of the desk. Okay, we must have a plane surface to roll your mouse and to move your mouse on the surface. As we will roll our mouse on the surface, so we can check the movement of the ball. We can check the movement of the ball on the surface. So as it will roll on the surface, so you can check your pointer is moving on the screen automatically. Your pointer is moving left, right, and moving on the coordinates x-axis and y-axis. Okay, on x-axis and y-axis it will move and roll on the screen. As you will roll on the screen, your pointer will move on the screen. Okay, and the movement of the ball are detected by the internal mechanism. So at the front of the mouse casing are 2-3 buttons. These buttons are used to perform tasks such as picking option, displaying on the screen. And here we have different types of mouse nowadays. So the first mouse was the mechanical mouse, in which we have a ball which we will roll on a surface. But nowadays we have an optical mouse. In an optical mouse we have a laser light and optical beam which we have in the mouse, and it is used to move your cursor. Mouse perform the pointing operation through the following 4 actions. So with the help of mouse, you can do clicking. Clicking means that when you are pressing the button, the left button, basically on the mouse, we have 2 or 3 buttons. The clicking means when you are clicking single click. Double clicking when you are doing twice click within a second. This is called double clicking. Dragging means when you are selecting something by pressing the mouse left button and moving somewhere. So sometimes it is called move and drag, dragging and move. Right clicking when you are using your right mouse button. So it is called a right click and right clicking. So mouse is the most widely used pointing device. It is small and lightweight input device. It is small and lightweight input device. You can carry easily, you can move easily, you can touch easily. Mouse moved on a flat surface to control the movement of the cursor or point on the screen. It is attached to the computer with the help of a cable. So we have nowadays we have a USB cable also. So you can use easily with the help of the USB port parts of mouse. So when we discuss about the mouse, so here we have the right button. This is your right button and this is your left button. Here we have a one right button and here we have a left button. This is our left button. Wheel not always available. Palm rest. So with the help of this small device and handheld device, you can move your pointer easily. So here the action left button, when you will press the left button, it is called a click. When you will press this left button twice within a second, this is called double click or double clicking. Okay. Then if you will press this right button, it is called right click. With the help of this wheel, you can navigate your page, you can move your long pages with the help of this wheel, and you can do scroll down. Okay. And then we have drag and drop. Drag and drop means that when you have any object, move your pointer, just select that object by pressing the left button and move where you want to place that object. So this is called drag and drop. And remember that your mouse is attached with the help of a cable. Here we have a cable. We have different types of connection and ports. At the end of the cable, we have port, and at the back side of your system unit, you can attach your mouse with your system unit. And before we have a mechanical mouse. In mechanical mouse, we was using a ball which rolls inside the mouse and on a flat surface, and your pointer can move easily with the help of that movement. But nowadays, your mechanical mouse is replaced by the optical mouse, and optical mouse use a light detection and optical ray which detect the movement, and we can use with the help of this movement easily. We can use this mouse with the help of this movement fastly and easily. So we have a light movement inside, a laser light and a beam, and which is used to move your mouse pointer easily. A mouse can be classified in several ways according to the working mechanism. A mouse can be three types: mechanical, optomechanical, and optical. A mouse can be three according to how a computer mouse hooks up or connect to the computer. Hooks up means that how you can attach your mouse with the computer system. So we have a cable. At the end of that cable, we have the port and the connector, which is attached on the port of a system unit. So we have serial mouse, PS2 mouse, and cardless mouse. Cardless mouse means that the wireless mouse. Wireless mouse, there is no wire in the mouse, so we have a cardless. With the help, without the wire, we can use our mouse. The basic parts of your mouse is a ball, two rollers, an infrared LED, an infrared sensor, onboard processor chip, a shift. So this is the basic structure and the types of a mouse which we are using nowadays. The next pointing device, trackball. The trackball is a computer cursor control device. It consists of a socket having sensors of detecting the ball's rotation. So trackball, remember that trackball is also a pointing device, but the difference between the trackball and the mouse is that in mouse, we must need a plain surface to roll our mouse on the screen, on the tablet, on table, on a plain surface. But on a trackball, we did not need a plain surface. We have a ball at the top of the device. We can just roll our finger on that ball and we can move the pointer easily. So this is a trackball device and also a pointing device which is used to move your pointer easily on the screen. So trackball can be used as an alternative to a mouse. This device has buttons similar to those on mouse. It has a large rotating ball on the top, not at the bottom. It has ball on the top. So with the help of this ball, you can rotate your pointer on the screen. The body of the trackball is not moved. The ball is rolled with the finger. So you cannot move, you don't need to move the body of the trackball on the plain surface like the mouse. So you can just roll your ball with the help of your finger on the, and then you can check your pointer is moving on the screen. So it is the difference between the trackball and the mouse. So in mouse, you need a plain surface where you can roll your mouse, and you must need a table or a desk where you can place your mouse, and you need a proper space. But in the trackball, there is no proper space. You can use in your hand. We have a ball at the top of the device. You can just roll your finger on that ball and you can move your pointer on the screen easily. The position of the cursor on the screen is controlled by the rotating the ball. The advantage of the trackball is that it takes less space to move than mouse. Trackball is often included in laptop computer. It can also be used as separate input devices with standard desktop computers. So unlike other input devices which needs movement like the mouse, a trackball is stationary and does not require much space. It can also work on most surface, which is a great advantage compared to other input devices. So another pointing device is a joystick. So joystick is an input device that can be used for controlling the movement of the cursor or a pointer in a computer device. The pointer cursor movement is controlled by maneuvering lever on the joystick. The input device is mostly used for the gaming application and sometimes in graphical application. So joystick is commonly used for playing games. So if you want to play the games in the computer, so you can use the joystick. It is fixed on the table and it has a stick in the center that can be titled in any direction. It can be moved and it can be tiled in any direction. The stick is held by the hand, and when it is tiled in any direction, the movement is translated onto the movement of an object on the screen. The buttons are used to perform actions such as firing guns and laser. So with the help of this joystick, as you can see on the screen, here we have a joystick. So here we have a wheel or a gear. You can move this wheel and gear, and we have a button. So with the help of these buttons, you can play your game easily. So with the help of this pointing device, you can move your cursor, you can move your pointer easily on the screen. The next input device is touch screen. A touch screen is a display device that allows the user to interact with a computer by using their finger or stylus. They are useful alternative to a mouse or keyboard for navigating a GUI graphical user interface. So nowadays we are using touch screen in our smartphone, in ATMs, in even in our smart television. So we have a touch screen. With the help of the finger, we can select the option. So it replaces your keyboard and mouse. Touch screen replace your keyboard and mouse. With the help of your finger touch, you can select the option, you can open anything. So touch screen is a video display screen that receives input from the touch of the finger. The screen is covered with a plastic layer. There are invisible beams of infrared light behind the screen. The user enters data by touching icons or minus on the screen. Most touchscreen computers use sensors to detect touch of a finger. So nowadays, touchscreen are used on a variety of devices such as computer and laptops, display, smartphones, tablets, cash register. A touchscreen is a computer display screen that serves as an input device. So it is serve as an input device. With the help of this touch screen, we can input our data, instruction, and information. When a touch screen is touched by a finger or a stylus, it registers the event and sends it to the controller for processing. A touch screen may contain pictures or words that the user can touch to interact with the devices. So touch screen is a computer display screen basically, and it is an input device as well like as output device also. So sometimes we can call our touch screen input device and output. So nowadays, new PC and smartphone or tablets have touch screen, which allow the user to interact with the computer using their finger. If the monitor has touch screen, it is considered an input and output device because it can take input and at the same time it can give the output. So touch screen basically can cover IO device. It is not only an input device, it is also an output device. User interacts with the computer by touching picture or words on the screen. So you have a picture, you have an image, you have text on the screen. So with the help of your finger, you can just touch that picture, image, or text, and you can select the option. So touch screens are generally attached to computer, but they are also popular in other devices such as mobile phone, PDAs, your smartphones, your ATM machine. So we are using touch screen. The next is light pen. A light pen is a light-sensitive computer input device, basically a stylus, that is used to select text, draw pictures, and interact with user interface elements on a computer screen or monitor. The light pen works well with CRT monitors. CRT monitors, cathode ray tubes monitors, which of the way such monitors scan the screen, which is 1 pixel at a time, given the computer a way to keep track of the expected scanning time by the electron beam and infrared the pen position based on the latest timestamp of the scanning. So the light pen look like a pen with a photocell at its tip, as it is used to point to an object or draw on the screen. So it is basically can be used for the drawing, for the graphic purpose where you need to draw most neatly. So you can use the light pen to draw on your tablet, at mainly used in engineering or designing purpose. Basically, it can be used in engineering and designing purpose. A light pen is a handheld pointing device. It is easy to hold it like a pen. It looks like a pen. It is connected by a wire to the computer. With the help of wire, we can attach with the computer, attach with the tablet. The pen send information to the computer when user touches the pen on the specific area of a specially designed screen. Light pen is usually used by the engineers and graphic designer where they need a complex designing and they want to make the architectural design, they want to make the map, so they can use the light pen because it is quite easy to hold the pen and draw the maps and draw the drawings easily. The next is touchpad. Touchpad is a flat control surface used to move the cursor and perform other functions on a computer. Touchpads are commonly found on laptops and replace the functionality of a mouse. So on our laptops, we have touchpad that is a specific area, a plain area on our laptop where we can move our finger, and with the help of our finger, we can select, we can move the pointer. It replaces our mouse. Touchpad replace our mouse, and nowadays on the laptops we have touchpad. With the help of it and this specific area, we can roll our finger, we can move our finger on this touchpad, and we can move the pointer. And we have two buttons. This is click and the left click and the right click. With the help of this left click, you can do the clicking and the double clicking, and this is the right click. It just looks like a mouse action. So we have two buttons which we can use with this touchpad easily. A touchpad is designed to be controlled with your finger. By sliding your fingertip along the surface, you can move the cursor on the screen, similar to a mouse. Touchpad can detect acceleration as well as linear motion. This allows you to have refined control with slow movement and quickly move the cursor across the screen using a fast motion. So with the help of your finger, you can move your finger on that flat surface area, and you can see your pointer is moving by touching the flat surface area by rolling your finger, so it can move easily. Okay. And sometimes touchpad have two buttons below them which correspond to the left click and the right click mouse button. So here we have two buttons, the left click and the right click. It is used to the clicking and the left clicking, double clicking, and this is your right click, and this is the plain area, the surface area where you can roll it easily, where you can move your mouse pointer easily. Touchpad may also include multi-touch technology, which is common on touchscreen devices. This means you can use multiple fingers to perform different actions on your computer. For example, some programs allow you to use two fingers to pinch and zoom in or out on a document or an image. So with the help of both hands, you can use the both function and the two fingers, and you can zoom out the picture, you can zoom out the document. So touchpad provide the multi-touch technology and can use the multi-touch technology in your laptops and in your devices. So basically touchpad is used to use in your laptops, and the user can interact with the help of this flat and plain surface area, and it can roll and it can move your pointer on the screen easily. The next input device is microphone. Microphone basically is a input device for our sound, for our voice. This input device is used for our sound. If you want to enter something into the computer and any computing device, so with the help of microphone, you can enter your input device. So microphone basically take your voice input and enhance it and amplify it and generate your response and output. So a microphone is a device that captures audio by converting sound waves into an electrical signal. This signal can be amplified as an analog signal or may be converted to a digital signal, which can be processed by computer or other digital audio devices. So here we have two terms, analog signal and the digital signal. So basically, our voice signals are analog signals. Analog signals vary from lowest to highest. It can achieve any frequency from lowest to highest. Highest they can vary. They can vary from lowest to highest. And digital signals are those signals which have only two state signals, 0 and 1, 1 and 0, only two state signals. So microphone and mic is used to amplify as an analog signal or may be converted to a digital signal which can be processed by a computer or other digital audio devices. A microphone is a device that translates sound vibration in the air into electronic signals or scribes them to a recording medium. Microphones enable many types of audio recording devices for purposes including communication of many kinds as well as music and speech recognition. So it is used to speech recording as well. So microphone basically is used to convert the spoken words which we are speaking and we are recording, doing the recording. So it is used to convert the spoken words to the digital signals for computer input. It converts audio signals to electrical waves and these are converted by electronic circuit in the computer to digital form. So microphone is a device which is used to convert your signals and process your audio input into the computer and pass to the computer and process it, and then you can hear the result and you can generate the result in the form of output. The next input device is digital camera. So digital camera is similar to a traditional film-based camera, but it captures images digitally. When you take a picture with a digital camera, the image is recorded by a sensor called a charge coupled device or CCD. So digital camera basically is used to capture your pictures and stores them in a digital form. Pictures taken by a digital camera can be downloaded to a computer for viewing and editing. So you can take your picture with the help of digital cam, and on digital cam we have a small screen, and on that screen you can see and you can check your picture, and it is used to save your picture on the memory card when you are taking your picture. So you can save your picture on a memory card which can be attached in your digital camera, and by taking these picture you can attach your digital camera with your laptops, with your desktop, and you can download your picture in your computer system. You can view, you can modify, you can send to someone. Instead of saving the pictures on the analog film like traditional cameras, digital cameras save photos in digital memory. Some digital cameras have built-in memory, but most use an SD or compact flash card, which are used to save your data, your memories, your videos, and your recording on these memory locations and the SD card. Digital cameras range greatly in size and quality on the low and portable electronic devices such as cell phones and iPad that have digital cameras built into them. So nowadays digital cams are replaced by our smartphones, our tablet PC. So as we know that we have digital cam and we have a camera in our smartphone, so we can take pictures easily anywhere and everywhere. We can take, we have a memory card, we have built-in memory in our smartphones, in our tablet PC, so you can take the picture and you can save in our smartphone, and you can transfer your pictures with the help of any social media application. You can use any social media application to transfer your images. So it's an age of IT and the digital age. So all these things are replaced by the smartphone and the tablet PC. So nowadays we have a touch screen in our smartphone. With the help of the touch screen, you can select the icons, you can select the options, you can select the text, and the digital camera is replaced by the smartphone also. So we have a camera in our phones, in our tablets, so we can take the picture easily, we can save those picture in our mobile phone, and we can transfer easily these pictures. So thank you so much, dear students, for paying attention. I will see you in next lecture. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.